My bones are... my... bones.
In stories, we come across individuals who were absolute demagogues. Tokyo Revengers is full of these individuals, and they are the agitators who will change things forever. However, they can be hit or miss, and in the large scheme of things, one individual who was a huge miss was Izana KUROKAWA. Many readers will chalk Izana up to being just another pawn for the best written manipulator since Kabuto Yakushi, who happens to be Teta Kiseki. And that would be correct. However, this character has the intangibles to make him a pariah of sorts. He was nullified by his mental issues. Izana was marred in his upbringing by not only not knowing who his real family was. He even met the woman he believed was his mom, only to find out she wasn't. He was in no way related to the man he respected as his brother. That meant something to him, but to those who cared about him, it meant nothing. He was written to be on par with Mikey. It makes sense because Shinichiro taught Izana how to fight, and no doubt he taught Mikey a thing or two. Izana's gang Tenjiku, probably the most well-put-together, well-written antagonist group throughout the story, and at this point, we were only halfway through. They showed a level of brutality that no kid should have in their heart, let alone a young man. At the top stood Izana. At first glance, we see a detached badass. We see an agitator. He was equal to Mikey, but he was in a whole nother league. The way he carried himself was as if he was mafia royalty. You'd think this was the final boss if you didn't know any better. But then we get this gobbledygook from Izana from chapter 173 to at least 177, and it assassinated his character. This is one of the most monumental mental breakdowns you will ever read or watch in the future, and the voice actor who does this scene eventually will have to convey the stunning revelation of Izana's mental state. It is drastic, it is way too well done, and unfortunately, you don't look at Izana the same way throughout the rest of the story because of this. In comparison, for those of you who are familiar with Steven Universe, we meet White Diamond, the final enemy of the story, and she's absolutely elegant, she's perfect, she's everything wrong in the universe, and she's given a stern talking to by Steven, and she actually suffers a mental breakdown similar to Izana's. However, the aftermath doesn't change your perception of White Diamond, because it's not really degrading that she put her psychosis on display and had to be redirected, but Izana goes through the same thing, and ladies and gentlemen, it really takes away from Izana. The charismatic introduction of Izana is all for nothing after this, because you will reach a state where you will look for the exit. It's compelling in a bad way. The story of Tokyo Manji Revengers, for those of us who have finished reading it, is actually a perspective on if we could change things in our past, what would we do differently, and also what effect would it have long term. Izana thought himself as a king when he was a child, and his best friend Kakucho was his, quote, servant. He said he would give Kakucho's life meaning. They even wanted to name their kingdom Tenjiku. At the height of everything, you will see a heartless gang leader, but you will also see that he truly believed no one cared about him. It causes him to fall into darkness. His parallel, Manjiro, or the invincible Mikey, would fall into darkness because of the people who cared for him. He wanted to protect them. And when Izana began to walk down Mikey's path, it led to his immediate death. His great friend Kakucho would live on despite his injuries, Izana still being his driving force. The story of Izana is an inkblot in the Tokyo Revengers manga, and the more I meditate on how a character so cool could need so much couch time, I actually start to like it.